And this evening, we have a very special guest with us. He's a Bhante from Africa who's based in Tanzania. And many people are asking us, why are we doing something about Africa when today is supposed to be the day where we should be talking about, the Esalapoya and Dhammachakka Pavartana Sutta. Well, this answer is very simple. It's because everybody else is doing that already. There are so many Buddhist centers around the world who are talking about Esala and also the Dhammachakka Pavartana Sutta. So we thought we'll do something different, and this time totally different because we got a monk who has been based in Africa for many years and who has kindly consented to join us. And I think many of our listeners would find this very interesting because many of us don't even realize that there are Buddhists who are practicing Buddhist in Africa, on the continent of Africa. I would now like to bring on screen Dr. Pannasekera, Dr. I. Pannasekera, who's going to be our Dhamma speaker this evening. Good evening, Bhante. How are you?
Good evening for everybody, and
Yes.
I'm happy to today deliver the talk with you this moment.
Yes. Bhante, let me read Bhante's profile and then we will get started straight away with the Dhamma sharing. Yeah. Bhante, Dr. Ilukpitia Pannasekera is a Tanzanian Buddhist monk. He's actually a citizen of Tanzania, but he was born in Sri Lanka. Bhante obtained a bachelor's degree from the Bhikshu University in Sri Lanka in 1994 and then obtained a master's of arts from the University of Kelaniya in 1996 and a doctorate in Tripitaka Buddhist philosophy in 1995. He then obtained an honorary doctorate in philosophy from Argentina in 2014. He first arrived in Tanzania in 1998 and set up the first Buddhist center, the Buddhist Association of Tanzania in Dar es Salaam in 1998. He was appointed the chief monk of the African continent in 2001 by his elder monks of his Nikaya in Sri Lanka. Now, Bhante has been involved in Buddhist activities not just in Tanzania, but also in many other African countries, including Zanzibar, Malawi, Kenya, Botswana, Zambia, and South Africa. Bhante has also widely traveled around the world, attending interreligious seminars, forums, and symposiums. Bhante has also set up a charity organization in Tanzania called Kind Heart Africa Project for underprivileged children in Tanzania. He's also published a book entitled Buddhism in Africa. So, with that profile, we would now like to invite Bhante Dr. Pannasekera to start this evening's Dhamma sharing. Bhante sir.
Triple James bless you. Sukarani asaduni attono ahitanicha yangve hitancha saduncha tanve paramudukharang. So this word delivered by Lord Buddha, it is mentioned on the Dhammapada. The meaning of this word, Sukarani asaduni attono ahitanicha. So if we want to do something bad and is a bad thing for others, it is very easily we can arrange and it will appearing soon. Sukarani asaduni. Asaduni meaning is the bad thing. Sukarani meaning we can do very easily. Attano ahitanicha is yourself and others. If it is not suitable or bad for you, it very easily can do. But Yang hitancha saduncha. If we go to do something is hitancha saduncha. Sadhu meaning good, and also the hitancha meaning it is also the lovely things for everybody to get the good result and the good things. Thangme paramadukkalam. That is extremely difficult. So this word I put in my website. So I wanted to keep it is like a topic of this is my Dhamma talk because when I come to Africa 1998, when I create my website, I put this one on my page because that is the things what I am going to do in Africa. I understood it will be an extremely difficult work. Uh, it is a Buddhism is not there and 54 countries. So how I can do? I know it will be a very challengeable work, but I get a big determination. So I want to do. So even if not once, several times I was thinking. So the Buddhism in Africa remaining for me because until I come to Africa, now 22 years completed. So no any monk come to Africa, even any other countries or even Sri Lanka to fully establishing and residing here and understanding African culture and what they need and how Buddhism can apply for them and to recognizing them and do something for them, they nobody come forward. For example, in Tanzania also, it is a Buddhism now 100 years finished. Buddhism came to Africa, Buddhism came to Tanzania 1920, 100 years old. But Buddhism itself, so it is not 100 years old. Why? Buddhism came there, but Buddhism not established there. Temple establishment, it is a Bodhi tree is there 100 years old, and the pagoda is there, is the shrine room is there, an association hall is there, but that is not the way is the Buddha recommended is the Buddhism establishment. So if you want to see the Buddhism establishment of any country, so have to have a local monk, meaning Tanzanian or African or any countries. After getting a Tanzanian or any African monk, that is the day. So we can mention the Buddhism has established. So likewise, in after the Lord Buddha, he arrived with the three times to Sri Lanka, but Buddhism not established until Mahamind Thero come to Sri Lanka and he made the Arita, Prince Arita to be a first Buddhist monk. So that is the time the Buddhism is started, established in Sri Lanka. So any country is like that. So my target, it is also the Africa, we have 54 countries. My idea is one country, one monk. That is my theme. So I have successful. It is so now the four countries, five countries. So we have the local monks, meaning 154 countries. We can mention about 5 countries we have established Buddhism. But some other countries we have associations. Likewise, Zambia and Lesotho in Swaziland, Egypt. Those countries, some other countries, we have association, and because they want to build up temples, and but I am discouraging them because I'm asking if we can build a temple. Where is the monk? No monk. Monk is the important part, not the temple or anything else. Because if it is monk is not there, Dhamma is not there. Who is going to talk? So I cannot maintain all the temples around Africa. So also I have to other countries. So also we have temples establishment in after 1920 Tanzania temple establishment. So it went to the Botswana, and Botswana we have a temple in Gaborone, and also completed temple with the pagoda and everything. And also South Africa we have several temples and different nations, Taiwanese and Thailand and Chinese and Tibetans, and we have temple there. And Kenya also we have one temple. Sri Lankan temple and also Tibetan temple. And Uganda, we have a Theravada temple built by Ugandan monk. And also Malawi have a Buddhist center, and also Congo have a Theravada Buddhist center. My student is working there too. So this way we have established the last 22 years Buddhism, and almost all countries wherever the Buddhist people came to work in Africa, even Chinese, that is, most of the Chinese they are following the Buddhist philosophy, and also the Taiwanese mostly, and also the Vietnam, Japanese, Korea, Nepal, Myanmar, so Sri Lankan and Laos, the Tibetans. So they are working in the different countries. They have the associations with the different names, and they continue Buddhist meditation, and they are very very interesting to practice that. And the most important thing is the local, meaning is the Africans themselves. So they have a very big interesting about Buddhist philosophy. So they have learned it from somewhere. Then they come to the center and further clarification about our Buddhist activities, and also the meditation. Mostly they like to practice and understanding, and they come and discuss with me, and continuously they come to practice meditation and other things. Therefore, we can tell it is in Africa generally, if we get the original Buddhist are there, but original Buddhist are few. We have local Buddhist are big amount of. So I can remember this is the one of the Canadian monk. One day he was talking international meeting about explaining about his Buddhist devotees in Canada. He was telling, I have three kinds of Buddhist. He said is the original Buddhist, then Musbus and Chrisbus. So I remember, so I also have to mention same way. In Africa, we have three kind of Buddhists. Is a original Buddhist, and is the Christian born but Buddhist, and is still practicing Christian things. They are practicing Buddhist, and born by Islamic, but they are practicing and the Buddhism. And also I have built that is the orphanage center, and orphanage center for the another way I can explain next time. But that orphanage sent 100 children, but there is no any original Buddhist children there. They all are Christian and Muslim. So you can see this is a very wonderful area, and this way we can find every countries, we can find some amount of Buddhist followers, and they are following and practicing different kind of with the name they are putting, and very wonderful, very very wonderful. But it is the way. Normally, if you go to the established Buddhism in any outside of the country, like from Sri Lanka, so it must be applied together with their own culture. After go to Japan, it mixes with Japan. After go to China, it mixes with the Chinese. After go to other countries, it's mixed with their cultural activities. Same thing in Africa too. Africa also we have to do mixing with their cultural activities and their behaviors and everything. We cannot apply original as it is come from Sri Lanka or India. No, no way. It not happened even other countries. You can see the Tibetan Buddhism. Also, Tibet is completely different things. And this way, in future in Africa too, the Buddhism will be is the different African Buddhism. So we have to understand it. I already have understand. So therefore, I'm going to apply it according to their need, because I can do it because I am the responsible person for Buddhism in Africa. I am the chief monk appointed from Sri Lanka. So therefore, I can establish according to the either what they need, because I think nobody can take or talk anything beyond my understanding, because who has 22 years experience is the day and night living in Africa? Nobody. Most of them even know flying over Africa. So, but some meetings and other places, if you go to the funny things, they are talking a lot about Africa. Even they have not even once they have flight over Africa. But when they go to talk, I see they are the very wonderful talker, the speaker. But I'm sorry. But we are working, but nobody knows. We continuously. So the there's several few points I want to the mentioned about the how the Africans is the access to the Buddhism. I already mentioned they are already accessing the level of people who accessing mostly after finish like advanced level. They are more interesting, and university level they are highly interesting, and teachers and professors they are very very interesting, because after grew up their knowledge to the high level, they are looking for something else. That is the time they are coming to discuss with us. It's a very very low level, very limited people coming, very very limited. So the highly educated people mostly come to us to the meditation and other things. And they are accepting. That is the wonderful things. And you can imagine it. Otherwise, this is the famous in Africa. It is in the Christian and Muslim countries. Some of them are, some countries are even completely Muslim countries are there too. And some countries are mostly Christians, but someone is the 50-50. But everywhere it is nobody, it is disrespecting to Buddhist concepts or Buddhist teachers or anybody. Because our lovely action, our lovely behavior, our kindness, our activities, they are accepting too much, because it is a different kind of thing. Because it is not like you know that the Buddhism also, Buddhist monks also, we have different groups. Some monks is inside the jungle and meditating only. That is the Aranya Vasi, and also the Gramavasi. So we are working as a Gramavasi, but also Gramavasi, we must be mostly friendly, must be work with them, and like we are the friend. So I think that is the way Buddha told. Another Thero one day asked him from Buddha, and he was telling to Buddha, and I think half of Buddhism is the Buddhist way it is going on with the friendship. Then the Buddha was reply, not half, 100% is Buddhism is growing up with the friendship. So you see that this is the very, very, very big theory. I understood. So after come here also, very big friendship we have to them. After understanding we are friendly for them, so they come to access that, and then that is the way. That is the way even it is I started 2004. This is a kind of Tapika project for Buddhism applying by practically. So it is broadly the many children on the road and begging and this and that. So we collected them and make a center slowly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have up to 100. And you see, I started 2004, 16 years ago. Now some of them working in the government, some in the private sectors. And this moment we have 7 children in the universities. It's still every year now 2, 3 children go to universities. You can see how Buddhism is there. And road to university, road to the work. So how it is like that. So then people, not only people, all the president up to president and up to the grassroots level, everybody is respect and respect. That is why I have to tell it is a 2014. So I got the Tanzanian citizenship. Government offered to me because they understood I am a special person to this country. So that is meaning you can see the chief monk put into the nationality in Tanzania, meaning all automatically the Buddhism mean going under their religions list. And also we after come here, you can imagine in the 1998 we started with the interreligious council, meaning we collaborated all the religious leaders and come together, make the one organization and work together, Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindus, this and that. So I'm the founder. So now, so it became the uh, final level, meaning it is the main advisory board to the government. And anytime we have the Kamati Amani Peace Committee and Intelligence Council. So anything in the government, we have our leader, they are connecting him to calling us, then everybody is there. So you can see how it will be work. And in this important thing is that wherever any kind of special meeting happening in the government, they are calling it the Buddhist leader. They never forget. Also, after go there is a wonderful thing you can understand is how many people in Tanzania Buddhist. Tanzania about 45 million total, but we have less than 1 million. But they have counted. We also add the one of the special religion. So therefore, all the time when we go there, they give a chance to blessing by Buddha's chanting, and chief monk is there and blessing it there, and they everybody knows. You can see the how they are accepting and how they are respecting. Everybody is respecting, even with the religious leaders like Islam, Christian. They are wonderfully welcoming wherever we go. They never forget to call us. You see the how it is very wonderful. It is very wonderful and excellent, excellent, and they never neglect us nowhere. So very wonderful. And also the when you go to talk about the what kind of difficulties we have to mention, they also it is a good. We have a lot of to talk, and also we have to understand the difficulties side also. What kind of difficulties may this Bhante is facing, and this establishment is to come back. So there are a lot of difficulties. I am telling it is the lot of work with lot of work with the lack of facilities. So this is the way we do always. And here it is the that is the Professor Kruger in UNISA, University of South Africa. He has mentioned his book. When I researched for my PhD, I found has mentioned it. He was telling if Buddhism could come before missionaries come to Africa, so we could establish it very easily. Before missionaries come to Africa, if we Buddhist peoples could come to Africa, we could establish this very faster. He was telling that, he was telling after missionaries and Arabics, when after they come to Africa, they change Africans' mentality. So they change their activities. So they applied something. They started fixing stickers for them. They are dividing. Mostly they develop the quantity of the population of around their congregation. So therefore, they were growing up with their mentality change and this and that. So therefore now they have the big conception of gods and these creations, and these things are established by these missionaries. So, but before they arrived to Africa, there is no that conception. It look like you remember, everybody remember the Mahamahinda Thero when he come to Sri Lanka. So how we had our situation, our culture, our behavior in Sri Lanka. So that time we were worshiping to trees, we worshiping to stones, we are worshiping to sun and moon and water, and we had something of our traditional beliefs and practice and something like that. So Mahamahinda Thero came and he changed the system of which to the unmeaning to the meaningful way. Instead of big stone, introduced to the big pagodas, and instead with the big trees, he introduced the Bodhi trees. So likewise, how many things he introduced? Then quickly, our Buddhist people in Sri Lanka people catch up and they start practicing. Then that's why it went there. So therefore, we have failed already, meaning it is we have passed a long time in Africa. So therefore, we as teachers of Buddhist philosophers, so we have to do now 2, 3 things, not one. If we come 200, 300, 400 years ago, before missionaries come, only establishing Buddhism. Now, no. First, we have to clean up their minds, then we have to establish. See, the 3 works to do. Therefore, it will get a long time. That is why people asking, why you don't have Buddhism monks, Buddhist people in Africa 100 years? No, no way. It will get time because first is the cleaning the bush. Then we starting. You see how to start. So to the other thing to do. So that's the way how to do. Therefore, it will get time, but slow, but sure. That is why whatever we have with our followers, who we have in this moment currently everywhere, they are either properly established, meaning they are understanding. This one going with understanding. We are developing not the quantity, we are developing quality. Therefore, few amount, but they will be okay. So and therefore, this is the one of the case. And you know that is the normally the Buddha also saying is the panyavantasa and dhammo nayanda dhammo dupanyasa. So something like that. It is saying is the if we want to Buddhist philosophy to accept and get this quickly, it need to have the little bit higher wisdom and higher education level about that side. So after go to the Asian countries and Europe and Western, so they have some kind of highly education level and something else quickly come back, and therefore this philosophy one time mentioned, second time no need because they can go through. But here it is still in Africa, and we are not much developed that kind of education level and other things. They are establishing and programming and still doing it. Therefore it will get time to get highly educated level like other countries. Therefore, this is the most of the children and others are very low education, and this they are maybe go to sometime grade 7 or 8. That is the end of the school. So therefore, it is very difficult to them to understand in that great philosophy, because this one is a very deep education, not not a joke to like others talking. So therefore, also this low education also sometime it will be a problem. And also, you know, the another difficulties, you know, the um they are we can tell it is Africa, it is normally publicly we know there is the poverty is there, so the poor countries are there. So world poorest countries is around me also. If I talk to the Africa, Tanzania, it is the 10 most poorest countries around me. So therefore, you can imagine it. They need all these material supports and other things before Dhamma. Buddha also talked about that. Before Dhamma, we need to feed them food for them. And if we somebody hungry, how we can take the Dhamma? So therefore, we have to fill first stomach, then we talk the Dhamma. So this is the first things happening. So therefore, other religious organizations they used to do this one. Therefore, they are giving a lot of material support for them as much as. So therefore, these followers are around them. So, but Buddhist, we are zero giving, because Africa especially. I'm mostly not worried, but I'm worried about it is that uh, it is sometime I was meditate on it, and I am here now 22 years. I am trying to do this Africa Buddhism establishment. I have done this kind of work to Africa. So why there is no any Buddhist in the world to come and support me and work together? What I'm doing? I was thinking most of the time. So this is the way it is. It is normally it is other missionaries working in Arabic. They are building a mosque everywhere in the country, every villages. You can imagine. There is no people, but mosque is there. And also the others, other places likewise is a Christian mostly. You can imagine, you can see how big church they are building. Every villages, biggest church. Money from where? Money from Western countries. So where is the Buddhist supporters for the Buddhist philosophers or Buddhist teachers or anybody in Africa? Nobody, zero, zero, because nobody think about this issue. So it is, I don't know what is the karma of Africa or the karma of somebody somehow. So still we are struggling to do so according to whatever we have with our hand. And also this difficult living condition, it is also another difficulties like their lifestyle. It's not like other countries. After comparing, their living conditions are very poor. They are living in a one room mostly. That one room is everything. So that is the place for delivering children. That is the sitting room. That is the sleeping place. That is the kitchen. That is the store. That is the TV room. Everything in one room. You can imagine. And also there, the mother is there, father is there, children there, like 30, 20 children are there. So, but they are very comfortable. That is the wonderful thing. So I can tell you the Africans are more contented people. They have no complaint. They have no much strike like other countries. Our countries, you know how many strikes going on. Anything happen today, announce anything radio, tomorrow strike. This country, I think I have never seen last 22 years any strike. Even though in future many years no seen. So they are very contented. If this road closed, if it is funeral, if it is wedding, if it is something, the near the house road is closed. That is normal tradition. So we go there and we turn back and go to other road. If it is closed, go to other road. Nobody complain. If it is completely closed, even nobody complain. You see how wonderful. So they are very very contented, and it is they are enjoy with what they have, and their income they are looking getting, maybe if they hardly work, maybe $5 or $4 per day, but that $4 $5 for everything, but they are comfortable, they are happy, they are everybody. If you are anytime if you ask from how are you, fine, thank you, that is the answer. Nobody telling, nobody complaining to anybody. They are very very contented. So somehow, so another one, it is the when we go to the this is the activities, and difficulty it is, you know, the we need to have some local material, like or teachers, and the local language, some materials and books. So that one also very very unavailable. So I have few books. Is the this the Malaysia is the Mahavihara is the printed out and gave me some books, two books we have, and only that. So we don't have in the local language many books, and therefore we need to have the more local language books. Even I have translated Dhammapada also. I'm going to send to Mahavihara soon, and we soon publish that book also. And but we don't have enough materials for the local languages and also teachers. So at least you can imagine 54 countries. If we have at least the one teacher in one country, we can do it faster somehow. eh? So otherwise, the 54 countries is not easy to do. So therefore, we need to have some other either volunteer based, some teachers, even laymen or monks, because monks are. I now I'm thinking to finding a local monk, because in the Sri Lanka I try many several ways. So they come and go. They don't see here something else what they are looking for. 2 3 months they're spending off, they are going back. But if we call them to come to America or Europa, oh, they will be there with the big queue. But Africa, it is don't have. Therefore, it is we need some teachers. It is no matter even laymen can do something. We need to have laymen because the demand is there, but supply is, we can tell, zero. Forget me. So then it is another thing. It is the another difficulty is the easy access to drugs and liquor and other things. It's not like other countries. Here is always, it is the very very available everywhere in the small shops. Even if you go to drink something with the drug, what is meaning is the alcohol, something if you want to get, just get. It's a little money, and you can, according to your money hand, in even 50 cent or whatever you have, so you can get according to your money, so you can have enjoy with it. Therefore this kind of easy access also making them to enjoy, and it is according to our Buddhist spreading, sometimes it will be a damage. So another one, it is, you know, the slaughtering system, like our Buddhist countries, we are not slaughtering our uh, own animals. We are developing poultry and other cows or whatever. But here it is normally normal things. And because they don't have afraid or understanding about that issue, therefore it is a killing. It's look like nobody telling killing is bad. Therefore they get, and killing them it is, and eating them it is very like a normal things. Therefore it is a changing it, it will be a loan procedure. And other things also, this is the economically they have tied with this slaughtering. For example, so if you go to Botswana country, in the Botswana Lobatse, there is a meat factory. Every day it is killing 1,000 to 1,500 cows for prepare for cow meat for Europa. So Europa is the number one cow meat is selling and sending from Botswana, and the second income to country it is the cow meat exporting. You can imagine. Then this kind of countries to go to the Buddhist telling Panatipata, Veramani, Sikkhapadana, Samadhyam, then how they are hearing. So therefore, we have to be something else to changing or something else to talk else. Maybe that forget that one or maybe another for following or whatever. So something we have to change according to their lifestyle. Otherwise, you can't apply anymore because they don't hear to you. Because how can they can reject it completely? No way. So therefore, so this kind of with difficulties is with us, and therefore it is spreading it, going it slowly, slowly, slowly. So what? But still, we continue these activities and properly. And I'm happy because it's some young boys we have trained in South Africa. We had African Buddhist Seminary. I also teach there 5 years. They have come back to Tanzania and other countries. They are again back to their own race, own religion, but now they are continue with their Buddhist philosophy. And also, you know that in the South Africa, when you talk about Buddhism in South Africa, in the Master Huili, it is Taiwan, is the Four Points and Order, is a very important monk. So he is the one established the largest Buddhist temple in Africa, in South Africa, Bonko Split. So Nanhua Buddhist temple. So he, when he come to there, he's my good friend, and he was telling. So he wished to born in another 2, 3 times in Africa to establish Buddhism in Africa. That is his wish. And also he was telling after 200 years later, so we can see Buddhism in Africa, not now. So we are planting, like myself, like himself, we are planting the seeds in Africa. Even either that African Buddhist seminary, so we trained with a lot of boys, and now they are some of them in South Africa, some of here, they have got married, they have children, and 2, 3 children, and they have family life. So they train 3 years like monks, but now they are laymen. They are working in the temple. So now they are telling what? They are telling, not my children's children will be Buddhist. So you see, that is the way it is. It is not the something strange. So after come to Tanzania, you can see even Kenya, other countries, they are still using it. They are not using like weapons. So they are there. That is the new things. But the most of the some areas, in the interior areas, they are using like in Sri Lanka. All time we use that is the things for protecting and things. This is the things still they are using big knife and that things what we use for the killing animals. So this kind of things we are using still for arrows and things. For still they are using. I was wondering. So then I understood. Oh, this is the time we had in Sri Lanka, made 1,000 years ago. That is meaning Africans, most of African countries peoples are still like that age 2,000 years ago, how we lived. This is the way they are living here. So therefore, so they need a lot of supports and attention. So that is why I did that is the established Kind Heart Africa project. Is the one of them it is now running in the Open Age Center. And now I have established the hospital and for helping children and others all public, but established is it there, but not opening because the open age center running now. It needs every month at least $6,000 for expenses. And if I open the hospital, another $2,000 I have to find. But I'm looking for some donors to come. Then we are going to open it because it's already built. So therefore, going to be the hospital. And third project, we have another land we have bought, and we are going to establish the elder home because I already established children home. Now want to consider about grandfathers and mothers who are begging on the road. And also vocational training center, very, very important. I have a plan, everything drawing done. And because this occasional training center very important, because training for our children, also other children to computer, mason, carpenter, and other area works. So that also our wish to do. And also the temple, we have Buddhist temple. In this moment we have the nursery school. So my plan is develop it is a Buddhist primary and nursery school. And also some other activities are a lot there. If people come and work together, so we can do a lot of Buddhist project. And but no, not mentioning the Buddhist name. I'm also not much mentioning Buddhist name, but what I'm doing Buddhism. So this way it will can apply. And also if we mention this, nobody tell no. But we are not mentioning, and I'm not talking about that, but we are applying. We are teaching, people accepting, people are respecting. So we can do more if we have more. I think this is the way. And in Africa, we are doing maybe uh, all this audience may we have got some ideas about how Buddhist has established, how difficult it is, and what we are doing. And I think all I covered around Africa. Mostly today is in this talk. It is not the Dhamma talk, but this is Dhamma talk. But it is can tell you the modern Dhamma talk. So it is. I think it is also very important for you to understand, because we are all day, every day, mostly we are hearing to about it, what is Buddha, what is Buddha taught. And I think this is also it is some of the very, very new area, because we always hearing about Europe and Western and Asian and other places and what is going on. We can see the video, we can see the many, many things happening, arranging and things and done. But to Africa, I think this is the first time to you hearing something. And according to time, I think I have to stop this point, and we can here even in the Dhamma, I can talk a lot of Dhamma. So, but another time we can go through the Dhamma talk also. Even we can get the Dhamma talk through African experience, and how it work, the Pili chantings and other things and this and that. So we can get understand in the next Dhamma talk. I think it now almost the time is gone. Therefore, I stop here for going to give chance to you to hearing questions, and afterward we can go more discussion. So Buddha bless you all.
Thank you, Bhante. That is, I think, today has been a very useful information that we have heard from you. It's an eye opener for us. I think, as I said earlier when I've been started, many people are not aware of the situation in Africa, and I think you have broadened our horizons and given us some insights as to how you are operating your Buddhist centers and how the Buddhist uh, leaders are operating there in Africa. There are a few questions that the audience would like you to answer. Can you see the question, Bhante?
Yes, in what ways the Buddha Dharma help and benefit ordinary Africans? Benefit ordinary Africans. Mostly mostly practically I can tell it is a practical application is that that practical application is most important. This open age center, because they have a lot of children on the road in Africa, Tanzania mostly, other countries, because if the parents died with HIV, AIDS, and malaria, therefore children come to the road, and they have no way to surviving. Therefore, we collecting them and keeping on the centers and supporting them. And this is the ordinary people we are supporting too. And also another one, it is that in Africa it is like I can tell it's like Visala Manur. So it is here they have the spiritual attacks a lot. Mostly, almost all schools, and mostly girls, and they are attacked by spiritual preta and other ghosts. Therefore, when in the morning in the assembly, they are drumming for their national anthem or whatever. So about 7, 8, 10 children, girls are dancing and getting a devil's action. So sometime in the classroom also. So after that, getting them, they go to the out and playing half hour, 40 minutes, sleeping. After wake up, they come back to the classroom. That is the answer. No way to finish them. And this kind of children, if when they come to the temple, so we chanting for them, the Buddha's chanting 1, 2, 3 times. So that is the end of their this ghost games. So this kind of way I have done a lot last 22 years, and helping through the Buddha's chanting. It is a wonderful support, and we can understand how powerful is the Buddha chanting spirit. So this way we are supporting ordinary people, and also we have the counseling, and a lot of family problems they have, and so therefore when they come to talk, so we are counseling them and advising and teaching, and also they need a lot economical support. So I don't have that much, but whatever I have, whatever I find, I'm giving. I'm not telling no. So I also, this is the kind of Africa project is the Indians and others is the rich people. When they were either they are removing from house and cloth and others, they are dropped to the temple. Then we are giving to the needy people, and also the food, some foods and the school fees and the monies. If we have money, hey, you can give morning up to evening, evening up to morning, because they are coming a lot of ways to asking there. So I help them, so we can do that way. So different ways. That's why even that I say the hospital, and that I gave actually these answers for these questions earlier. And they need generally a lot of supports for them to come up, because this country not like Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka we have free education, free health and this and that. So here is the free is not available much. So therefore so they need a lot of help from us. Is there Buddhism in Dr. DR Congo or Rwanda? Yes, in the Rwanda, not yet it is established a center, but in the Congo, yes. Congo, Bodhi Raja is the one monk. He was my student, and he died 1 year ago. But soon after died, so his son is the who had a university degree. uh, I made him as a monk, and she high ordination done in Sri Lanka. Panya Bodhi. I put the Panya is my half name, and his father name it is Bodhi Raja, his own father. So then I put the Panya Bodhi, and he high ordination done Upasampada. Now is they have about 4 places, about 4 temples, and mainly it is a Lulumbasi, and they have about 400 followers, and every day they come to temple about 30, 35, 40 people, and every day praying like a Christian way. So Congo, dear Congo, we have a special temple, and my own student is there. He doing wonderful. He doing very wonderful, and I like it. And I want to do every countries like that. So it's very interesting. It is that is the meaning. It is the Africa Buddhism we have established, because Congo have a student, and Uganda also we have. Mm-hmm. How does Bhante see the development of Buddhism in Africa, especially in Tanzania in 2050? I mentioned it even is at the beginning, and it will get the most of the professors are talking about 200 years after Buddhism can see in Africa. And now is 2020 and 2050, yes, bit higher, because last 22 years I did this much of work in last 22 years with establishing temples in 7 countries, and monks in 4 countries, and association about 5, 6, 7 countries, and almost I myself as the chief monk of Africa connected to the lot of world Buddhist assemblies and organizations, and they have make attentions, and they are inviting me and this and that. almost I can tell you that because of me, all over the world now people awakening about Buddhism in Africa. They have heard, they know now, they knew now. Buddhism in Africa also there is a monks is leading and this and that. So in this case, I think the 2050, I think not this amount what I mentioned, maybe it will become a 2 or 3 times, and I'm sure. And wonderful initiate I wanted to do it this year, this November, and 100 years celebration of Buddhism in Africa in Tanzania, because we have our global assembly of Buddhist Sangha. In the first summit we did in Japan, the last year we did the second summit in France. Third summit, they decide, they confirm, they hand over the flag to me to do it in Tanzania. So I confirm the date this year, November, to do so. Everything I wanted to, they agreed. It's like 100 years, 100 monks come to 100 countries to Tanzania, and other, I'm going to invite it all over the world, the high qualified Buddhist leaders to come. I think that is the beginning of Buddhism in Africa I was dreaming. But unfortunately it changed, but still we never change the place and everything. So next year, hopefully, we are going to do it here. We are going to invite all over the world Buddhist followers, Buddhist friends of Buddhists to come and join. I think that will be a very big beginning of Buddhism in Africa, because my idea is giving one country to one monk, one country to like get it is the one country, France temple, get another country, Swiss temple, get another country, Denmark temple, get another country, the Malaysia temple, get one country to one temple and take care one person and build a small room and sitting room and take care that monk. I think that is the way I'm thinking. 2050 will be a big difference. Will big difference. Now another question is Namo Buddha, Reverend Doctor. Thank you for your inspiring sharing. If we Buddhist don't go about converting people, how do we grow Buddhism in Africa? How do we clean up their minds, sadhu, in developing quality Buddhism? Thank you very much, the Rachel Wang. And yes, we are not converting anybody. We are just either saw the way we are teaching them how to make the rectify. I have done my Buddhism PhD research, and in the name of that is the Buddhism and social values in Africa. So this is the 100-year celebration day. I'm going to publish that book. Maybe Mahavihara can help me to print in that book. It has 500 pages. So it is, I have mentioned there, how Buddhism can modify and develop and upgrade in the African's culture. We are not going to change anything. We are adding to them, update their version. So that's all. So they're nobody rejecting. So therefore, yes, we are not the converting, we are not putting the badge, we are not the putting anything, but we are helping them to, because most of the people did something else. And you can see that in the Desmond Tutu, is the Father Desmond Tutu in the South Africa, is the Christian bishop. He was telling it is the when missionaries come to Africa, so land in our hand is the Bible in their hand. They came to Africa. They told us, close your eyes, get this Bible and pray for the gods. When we open our eyes, the Bible is our hand, land is their hand. So therefore, so my duty is not like that. I came here not the take away. I am not the take away. Even I am not go away. Some treasurers, you are standing on the big treasure. This is open it and get it and enjoy it. So that is my duty. I'm opening the eyes. That is the Buddha's duty even. So Buddha is not teaching something new. He is cleaning up and opening up and giving forward how to go. I do like that. Same thing. Therefore, so they appreciate. So we do. I want to do it more. So I cannot make a duplicate Pannasekera. Otherwise, I can do the quickly 54 duplicators and put in the 54 countries, it can do faster. No way. Therefore, I need world Buddhist make attention for this target. It is the very clearly and practically. This is, I think, there is no way more than Buddhist activities to run in Africa. This is the right place, is the wonderful place. What are the African cultures that Bhante has managed to integrate, to incorporate when spreading the Dhamma to make it easier for African to accept and understand the Dhamma better? African cultures that Bhante has managed to integrate, to incorporate, spreading the Dhamma to make it easier for African to accept and understanding. Yes, and actually, we can tell like you know that as I told, it is the very young generation, or it is the mostly it is come to that kind of people who ever come to the finding us. So I was founding it is that kind of with the supporting program is the more important. So supporting program, what they need, we have to supply it. So you can imagine, you can understand what I mean. That's why the Open Age Center program or hospital program or vocational training, elder home programs and schooling programs, you can see this is their need. This is their need, even in the water and this everything. And they don't have like Singalovada Sutra or Parabho Sutra, Vasala Sutra, this kind of understanding, nobody. So this kind of things, it is we have to do the more social development project for them, supporting project for them. Then they are come to us. Otherwise, no way. If we tell, okay, come to hear the Dhamma, and like our Buddhist countries and full of hole and it is like okay, Buddha birthday, come and do and like Mahavihar, I know that is the day and night, 2 3 days, come to the wake the offering to the Buddha. There's no system like that. So they have to understand, oh, something there, something happening there, we can get something, we can enjoy something, then they will become. Therefore, we have to make some kind of enjoyment point for them. They come and enjoy, then next day also come, otherwise they don't come. So even sometime I have tell you this meditation groups which I come, some boys come to meditation. So I have to give them bus fare also to go back. Otherwise, they no come back again. So, but that is the way it is. It is the way it is, because even in the Buddha time, other time also they have done. I remember the one one rich person, that his son is not go to the hearing Buddha's teaching. Then he said, if you go to Buddha temple and if you learn something, I'm giving this much money, and then you go. Like a second day, like that, he's showing the money and he go and learn. So therefore, they need what is their daily needs. Then they are with us. Otherwise, no. How many Buddhists are there in Tanzania? I can say maybe about the local Buddhists, we have about maybe 300 or something. We can find the local Tanzanian, but the all total Buddhist are a lot, because we have Vietnam Buddhist about 100 or something, and even Korean we have about 20, about Japanese 20, and Myanmar, and also Nepal, and so Kenyans, so the even Laos, some. So we have the total, but they are in the different time. They come and go, and they are not regular based. They come, but if they have something, they come and they according to their timing and this and that. Which part of Africa have the most Buddhist population? We can tell East and South Africa. I am living in East Africa. So East Africa is the neighbor countries like Kenya and also East Africa, South Africa, and Central Africa. So mostly we can mention. Central Africa is like Congo and Botswana, and South Africa is a completely country, South Africa. And inside South Africa, Lesotho and Swaziland also, and in the East Africa is this part. So East, South, and Central Africa, so the most Buddhist centers and Buddhist people a lot. Is known as the northern side of Africa, like Libya, Egypt. Either they are mostly, either even Western countries, they are mostly Muslim-based countries, and lost a lot of there because our people have not spread into that side. So the establishing Buddhism in Africa, Buddhist centers, must become some original Buddhist workers, first of all. After they come, they make the association, then they're calling making a temple and calling a monk. That way the temple is going. So East Africa and other countries it happened, other countries not yet. So therefore, East, Center, and South Africa, we have that. Dear Bhante, face objections to challenge or attacks from other religions groups or from the government and spreading the Dhamma in Tanzania or other countries in Africa. So I told you at the beginning, this how I already mentioned, it is either there is nobody against Buddhist activities or Buddhist monks or nobody. They love it. They love what we do and they respect. And because we are not going to do like fighting against them, or we are not talking against them or anything. And even when you go to talk about their God conception, I'm telling them, Bana, I'm telling them, okay, if you follow the God, it's okay, no problem. You continue. But I'm telling you, you do this way cultivation of your land because in Africa, mostly the Tanzania, also 85% land is still not used. So about 15% only we have cultivated. I'm telling them, go from town to there, your land, and cultivate and plant something. And your God, if you give God, get it. But don't wait only for 100% God, and cultivate, make the farming and get something. Lazy person never get help from anybody. Even God don't like to help the lazy person. Therefore, you work, then you get the support. Even God support and my advice and combine together, you will get harvest properly. So this way, so I'm encouraging them to do so. And also the lot of project in my mind have the like Mahavira development project, very important to apply in Africa. And water projects are a lot we need because the people some areas they were surviving with the rainy water, so we need to have the digging hole or something in the water projects, and the some kind of Mahavira development project like that we can have to apply some project. There are a lot of projects we can share with them, and so therefore they never come against because we no go against them. So if you against somebody, so somebody against to you. And it's very important to the puja ko labate pujdam vandako pativandana. That is the Buddha teaching. So we respect to somebody, they respect. So if we don't respect, they don't respect us. So therefore, we respect them, they respect us. So we respect their cultural behaviors. We are not complaining. We are not complaining to them. No, we are not complaining. We have to see them. If there's something, our view or our thing is that something can rectify, so we can kindly advise them do so, not by force like army or police or something else. If you go to like that way, I see that is the end of our work. So therefore, 100 years we are Buddhist temple here. Otherwise, how is the Muslims or Christian? They can get it, but no, they never think even because they respect. So they respect to our philosophy because it's not harming to anybody. They have understand, and they are sometimes they come to me asking about other information like Myanmar, what happening, and Muslims, and they asking questions to me. Then I explaining to them about properly at the big meetings. I explaining them this is the reason, this is the way it is happening because Al Jazeera and other things they are explaining it the wrong way. I am giving them the right answer, right way. Then it's okay. So therefore, they never hate to us. They never hate to me. They never come to against our activities. They are wonderful. I respect them. I love them. They are very good to welcome. And in our country, After go to see some information is happening or Sri Lanka or sometime I'm worried about some kind of issues happening about the religious or religious some quarreling with the religious based or some nations or whatever. But here you can imagine is if you get it alone in Tanzania among 45 millions, I am living here alone. You can imagine how it will be happen. It's a wonderful, it's a blessing. They are protecting us, they are respecting us. I love them. Yes, that's why I got even citizen in Africa. Why? After traveling in the Europe, Japan, Australia, everywhere in the 54 countries, more than many countries, they invited to me. No, I decide this is the place I can do my work. There is no any other place to work more than this. Are there Buddhist nuns of African origin? There is not yet any Buddhist nuns in Africa yet. First, we have to try to monks at least. Then you go to the nuns. So if anybody want to do, so a lot of people need, and because if somebody tell, okay, come to our temple, our place, we are going to support, be a monk and practice, they are ready to come tomorrow because that is the way they like it. So, but it is nobody come forward to do so. First, we have to do the monks, then we think on about the next nuns. So even Buddha did like that. So after establishing Bhikkhu Sasana, then Bhikkhuni Sasana is the secondly, and not all to both together. So we first we think this, and even though that's why I say even though no worry about monk or nun, even the layman's welcome to do something. So we need some teachers. I am a Kenyan Buddhist, and I don't how many we are as Buddhist. Very, very bad. What is the meaning? I am a Kenyan. I am a Kenyan Buddhist, and I don't how many we are as Buddhist. That is a little bit not understand properly. I'm a Kenyan Buddhist, so he was telling I don't how many we are as Buddhist. This is that question is not much understanding, but
Yeah, I think basically he wants to know how many Buddhists are there in Kenya, Bante. I think his question is how many Buddhists are there in Kenya. So he, as a
yes.
Buddhist, he's not sure about
Okay. Kenya also is a several Buddhist, but not much. Not much even. It is like Tanzania. There is some few amount of Buddhist are there. Temple is there, and Loreso we can find the Loreso is the Buddhist temple, and actually it's a private temple, but it still can use for the public. They have a library and go to the library and also the meditation and things. And Sri Lanka monk is there time to time come and go, and Bhante Vimala, and also another monk is sometime residing. And that place is the teaching meditation and the library is there. And the local Buddhist, you can find even few of them around 50. So they come and go, and also the Sri Lanka Buddhists are there. So they are working together. So yes, so you can Kenyan person can go to that Loresho, the Buddhist center is there, and you can have some Buddhist books and also the participate into the meditation and according to their timetable. Yes, you can do so. And it's Kenya and Tanzania not far. You can come even to here and Tanzania and with some time and can and learn and studies and practice and go. How many local African Buddhist monks are there now in especially Theravada monks? I told you that Tanzania, I am Tanzanian Theravada monk, and we have the Congo Buddhist monk, and we have Uganda Bhante Buddha Rakita, and also the South African monk is there. He is not in South Africa. He is living in meditation center in Thailand. So according to my knowledge, we have like 4 monks this moment in Africans. So we are still looking for. How do you manage with the local food? If the devotees providing dhan for you in Tanzania, yes, if the local food is very better than even our traditional food. Because with our traditional food, it is increasing sugar and this and that, cholesterol and this and that coming. But their local food, they are eating like maize powder. They are preparing special food. You can eat as much as no come sugar up. So therefore, I like local food more than even our traditional food. And traditional food also, our Sri Lankan people sometimes bring in about 2 3 days in a week, only one time. So other most of the time, my local boys are that orphanage boys. Some boys are 3 4 5 boys are living in the temple. They are my supporters, cleaners, and protectors, securities, everything. So they cooking with the what they can cook. I'm eating, and I'm not worried about the food and because too much food, the fertilizer too much, then growing up is a problem. So I'm always telling you that my engine is like we are telling you the CD 250 something, CD 50 Honda motorcycle Sri Lanka. I think one petrol liter can go 200 kilometers something. Like my engine is prepared for especially for Africa. So therefore I'm happy. Last 22 years I am not sleeping even one day in hospital. So this engine is built for Africa. So like a camel. So therefore I'm happy. So whatever is getting is okay. The morning no food. I send somebody after the all the dot of soap. One bread enough for me 3 days, 4 days. So his food is not much a problem because I'm not worried about that. So I'm surviving what I'm having. I'm contented. I'm happy.
Thank you, Bhante. I think we have come to the end of this evening's Dhamma sharing. I think if you notice the number of questions that you've had this evening shows there's a lot of interest about the work you are doing in Africa, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
concern. And I'm sure the our listeners would like to assist in whatever way we can. And as you know, Buddhist Mahavihara is always supporting you in terms of resources, as like especially books and other things that you require. We're always there for you. So before we end, I would like to request Bante to transfer the merits and that was accrued this evening to all the devas as well as to all the departed beings. Bante, can you kindly share the merits?
Okay, so we did a very wonderful Dhamma discourse, special Dhamma course today, and this online Dhamma discussion is arranged by the Buddhist Mahavihara, Kuala Lumpur, and first of all, I have to thank you very much to all organizing committee and also who connected to me to make this happen, and I also happy this moment. Therefore, thank you very much for all of you and the whole audience who here to me. And we are reminding all the people who first we gave the merit for all the god and goddess who protect us and to live in long life in this world. So this all the merit go to all the all the gods and goddess, and we wish them to attain nirvana, and also may they protect us living peacefully in long life in this world uh, while this trouble time, epidemic time, corona. And may you get blessing from all the gods and get long life. And also, so this word we are using for that to give merit for them. Akasattha Jabummatha Devanaga Mahiddhika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakkantu Loka Sasanang Chirang Rakkantu Desanang Chirang Rakkantu Mamparang Chirang Rakkantu Tansadati. Also, we have to pass the merits for all the departure ones, including our Buddhist Mahavihara, the chief monk who passed away, is our good friends, and I love him, and I met him several times, and I got his example to continue with his work in Africa. Mostly, he is the one of my example. So, and we pass this merit to all the passed away, our Bhantes and venerables and whoever, and our parents and everybody. May they get this merit and get moksha nirvana and live in good place and finally attain nirvana, getting this merit, all of them. With Idamme nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyateo. Idango nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyateo. Idango nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyateo. So we transfer merit for the departure ones, also all the gods and goddess, and may they all protect and bless us, and get a long life and live in peacefully and long life in this world with practicing good Dhamma. And finally, we wish all of you to also get long life, and finally this merit goes to your soul and finally get the moksha or nirvana. Abhivadana silissa niccang uddhapachayino chattaro dhamma vaddanti ayuvanno sukham balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijjatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante. Thank you for the Anumodana. So we have finally come to the end of this evening's broadcast. So on behalf of the management committee of the Buddhist Mahavihara, as well as all the monks, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank Bhante Pannasekera, Dr. Pannasekera, for sparing his time with us this Sunday evening. And also to our sponsors. We had 3 sponsors this evening for sponsoring this evening's Dhamma talk. And also to all the listeners who are with us, I hope you benefited and you have now some idea of what Buddhism is like in Africa. And as Bhante explained, there's a lot of work that needs to be done if we want to spread Buddhism in Africa. So Bhante is contactable on his website. He's got a website called pannasekera.com. You can get in touch with him. And with that, let's end this evening and by wishing you all a very happy Esalapoya, which was just finished this evening, and a pleasant evening. Sadhu.